Today we're gonna go over the best way to climb in the new ranked system. I'll share all the tips and tricks I've gathered over the last 2 days. I'm finally at my real rank, Oracle 6. The 8 watchers were right, but let's get right into it. You start out with placement matches, 8 of them, okay? And these placement matches matter more for your rating than any game you will play after those, okay? Every game after, we'll get into that in a second, you will gain 250 or lose 250 on average rank points. We don't know how many points exactly you get for the placement matches, but they matter a lot, and we can see this right here. This is the new Deadlock rank distribution, and this shows you where people get ranked based on the ranks they had before, okay? This is work in progress. So far, only 8.8% of players have qualified for the 8 placement matches. You know, employed people are gonna have a rough time because you need to play a lot. But after the 8 placement matches, you might get ranked anywhere from a rank you've already been. So for example, if you were Archon 6 and you play really well, you will probably be ranked Emissary 6, which is now the equal rank because they changed the rank numbers. But if you're doing really poorly, you can get ranked down all the way in Mystic 6, okay? And the average here is Ritualist. If you look at Eternus, same story. If you were Eternus 6, you get ranked either in Oracle 6 or Oracle 5, but once we go down to lower Eternus, it starts to open up, and even in Ascendant, you can get into the same games as Eternus. You can finally prove you belong into Eternus. I've even seen some Phantom players get placed in Oracle, yeah. So even high Phantom players got into pretty high Oracle, okay? And that's what you have to do first. 8 placement matches, and you cannot stack. You have to solo queue them. After that, you get into normal rank matches. And the way the system works is you gain 250 points per win on average, and you lose 250 points per loss. In most of the games, this is going to be the case, okay? There's 2 ways for you to get more rank points or lose more rank points. One of them is if you have a lobby that expects you to win, but you lose, okay? If that happens, if your team is favored to win and you lose, you saw here I have 1 loss and I lost 275. I've also seen people lose 300. So you can lose up to 50 rank points extra if you are the favored team to win and you lose. But on the same page, if you have a lobby where the other team is expected to win, but you win, you can gain up to 50 more. So you can gain up to 300 overall. Another point to climb faster, and really the only other way, win streaks happen starting from 3 wins, okay? So if you win 2 in a row, nothing will happen. You will still get the average 250. But starting from win number 3, you start to gain 50 more points per win, okay? So you can see here, I started the day off with 2 wins, and then for the 3rd one, I got 300. For the 4th one, I got 300. So win number 3 and 4 give you 50 extra, and then every single win after that gives you 75 extra, okay? So if your win streak is 5 or higher, you will get the maximum 325 points. And that's about the limit you can get if you are against a team that's favored and you have the win streak going. You can get up to 375, but that is the absolute max number, and most of you probably won't see this because it will happen very rarely. You have to be on a win streak and really unfavored. And that's really the ways you can climb the new ladder system. There's one thing you can do, which I'm sure you've seen a lot of streamers do, that will drastically increase your chances of winning, and that is just getting a duo partner, okay? Duos have always been good in the game. Like, you can rely on one person, right? And you can play with them on lane, make sure you win your lane more, and then, you know, carry the game as 2. It's way easier than having 5 randoms. But there's another reason why stacking right now is very important, because the rank distribution is so all over the place, right? If you are like, let's say, an Oracle player and you got placed like an Emissary or Ritualist, there will be people from all kinds of ranks in your games, right? Just because, you know, there's a lot of volatility in the placement matches, okay? So a lot of the time you will have players that were higher than you before the I can't speak. People that were higher than you before the ranking rework, or people that were lower than you, okay? So like, you could be a former Archon player, and you could have all the way from Phantom players in your game, maybe even Ascendants, but maybe also Arcanists, okay? And Yoshi did say in the patch notes it was going to be volatile for a while because people need to find, you know, their place in the new ranked system. So if you want to grind right now, right, in the first like few days or weeks of the ranked system, expect people in your games that are not your skill level, okay? Either way better or way worse. And, you know, if you have a duo partner that is ideally around your rank, you're gonna have a good time, or like an easier time to control the game, right? You can control the pace of the game and maybe make up for one person feeding on a team more easily. There is a caveat to that. You need to be within one rank to stack. So if you are now a Ritualist player, you can stack with an Emissary friend or a Mystic friend, but you cannot stack with a Sentinel friend or an Oracle friend, okay? So it's ±1 rank other than Eternus. And nobody's Eternus yet. I don't know if you've seen pro players. It's gonna take a long time. And this is where we get into like the issues with the new ranking system a tiny bit. I've asked for a grind. I always thought that the higher ranks need to be harder to achieve, and it feels good that I have to work for getting higher ranks, right? Like I think these ranks are prestigious and they should mean something, but it takes a very long time to climb. If you gain 250 per game, you will need 1,000 to rank up one sub-rank, and once you are at a threshold to a major rank like I am right now, you need to win 2,000 worth of points. So 8 games you need to win in a row without losing one to get there, right? So it's gonna take a long time. On the bright side, there is demote protection, okay? So once you drop to like 0 points again in your rank, you can lose 2 games without getting demoted, okay? So like in the long run, you should climb, but it's gonna be a grind. And I think it takes right now, I think it takes a bit too long, in my opinion, to climb or to drop. And they should probably make it faster. Right here, you can see an estimate of how long it's gonna take you to get from Oracle 4 to Eternus 6. This takes all the math into account, right? Like win streaks, losses, and everything else. And you can see here, with a 55% win rate, including expected win streaks, right? Like including the possibility to get win streaks, it's gonna take you 670 games to get to Eternus. With 60% win rate, which is like the highest of the highest, even Zergi and ABL, even the top 10 players in the game don't have 60% win rate on average. Even with a 60% win rate, it's gonna take 370 games to get from Oracle, which is where everyone is placing if you were Eternus before, to Eternus 6. And that is kind of a crazy grind, right? Like, not only because it's gonna take a long time, but because the season only lasts for 70 days, okay? Every season, right now, the numbers might change, lasts for 70 days, so we have 68 days in the season left. That means you need to play, what? You need to play 10 games a day at least? With a 55% win rate to end up in Eternus 6 at the end of the ranked season. I did the math on like hours, and that's like more than a full-time job, okay? So like good news for the unemployed, I guess, and good news for people that want to grind. Now, that being said, after the first season, we don't know if they're gonna reset the ranks the exact same way again, if everyone is back to Oracle and the grind starts from anew, or if people like that were in Eternus end up in Eternus, or it's like smaller. I like that it feels fresh. I like that the system encourages you to grind, but it might be a bit too much. I wish they would have some personal performance involved, like StatLocker does a really good job at that. StatLocker looks at personal performance, not only KD, but also objective damage, damage to players, assists, healing, etc. And they kind of, like, I wish if you had a standout game, like if you were MVP or like key player, you would gain a bit more. Or if you did really poorly, you would lose a bit more. I think that would feel better than the RNG 50-50 that we have right now, and that's still a thing. Again, could come down the line, but yeah, that's wish number 1. So for what heroes should you play if you want to win right now? This is more like a personal opinion kind of piece, but there seems to be 2 types of characters that will make the grind shorter, okay? One of them is hyper carries, hard carries, like Geist is really strong right now, Venator, Wraith is doing really well, 7, all the hard carries, because you can like at least dictate the game late game and 1v6 in the late game. The other role that a lot of people are playing right now is early roamers and gankers that can do a ton of spirit damage early on. The main characters I've seen that seem to be doing really well right now, Lash and Pocket. You can win your lane, and even if you have a tough time in lane, if you're with the random, you can roam and control the map, right? Like controlling the map early game is really essential. It's always been the case in Deadlock, right? The balance didn't change much. But because the games are so try-hard right now, because everyone is trying harder, you can feel it. Being able to be the playmaker at all points in the game is really valuable. So that also means that if you are a support player or you play tanks, you might not have as much of a good time. Both of those roles heavily rely on the team, On support, you need your team to be with you to get value. And on tank, you also kind of need your team. You can't like really get solo pickoffs on a lot of characters. You're really tanky, but you need your team more. So those team-reliant characters are not as good in my opinion right now. This is the roster I would recommend to you right now. These are like a lot of characters, right? Like there's a lot of characters that are picked. But I do have a good reason for not going... Dorman needs to be included here. I have a good reason for the other few characters here not to be included. They're mostly tanks or supports or a mix of both, or they're really bad characters. Like Haze right now is not really good. If you want a full breakdown of the current meta, I will release a tier list like probably tomorrow or the next few days. I do think the meta got changed up quite a bit with the patch, especially with people being more coordinated in ranked. But if you play any of these characters, you're gonna do really well. And if you are an insane Lash, pick Lash right now. Character feels really, really strong. Just to summarize, the only way you will climb faster is keeping up the win streak. So be locked in for all the games you can play, right? Like I noticed this today after like 8 hours of playing non-stop for me. My brain kind of shut off and I played worse, and that's where I lost my focus and started losing, and then I called it soon after because I wasn't locked in anymore. You need to be locked in. Everyone is trying really hard right now. And I can give you a little bit of a breather. You don't have to grind right now, because the longer the system goes on, the more accurate people's ranks will be, and the easier it will be, funnily enough, for you to climb, right? Right now, everyone in Oracle or in High Oracle or Low Phantom is an Eternus 6 player, okay? So if you're like an Ascendant player trying to get to, you know, like Eternus, and you are placed in low Oracle, if you win a few games, once you win a few games, you will be in full Eternus lobbies, and everyone is there because nobody is above yet, right? And it works the same way as kind of Apex matchmaking worked back when I played, where over time it's going to be easier and easier to climb. If you've ever played Apex, you know what I'm talking about. It's kind of like that. The rank reset the first 2 weeks are the most hardcore, so waiting for a bit until things stabilize is gonna make you climb probably easier, okay? So don't bash your head against the wall if you feel like you're getting nowhere. Our time is all valuable, and again, especially if you don't have that much time playing the game, if you can't play like 10-20 games in a row every day, don't expect to, like, you know, just climb through the ranks really fast. It is a very slow system right now, and I'm sure over time they will adjust it. By the way, overall impressions is really good. I had one guy AFKing in my game and the game got cancelled for it, or we didn't lose any rank. It feels really good if you have a griefer on your team that then abandons, that you don't lose any rank. Again, other than personal performance not mattering, I don't really have a big problem with the matchmaking. I will address one thing though for casuals. A lot of people are complaining. It feels bad not being able to stack with your friends in ranked. You don't want to play unranked. I understand that to an extent. Like, understand, like standard, you're not really playing for anything. You also have to understand that once you have bigger numbers of stacks, you know, like it made the matchmaking really imbalanced, right? Like I'm sure you realized if you were stacking with a lot of friends, you were probably winning more than losing, okay? So I think for any rank up to Oracle, they should probably bring it back, maybe, like allow like at least 3 or 4 people in a stack. I'm down for that. But I also think they should not even allow duo queuing in higher rank, because duo queue, again, is broken, and that's the #1 thing to abuse right now to climb. Everyone's doing it, and it is just the best way to have a partner that is close to your rank. That's everything I can really share. I'm sure I've missed something about this. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm really excited to grind. We're doing pretty well right now. Most streamers are having a fun time. There's a few that are like, you know, maybe not in the rank they should have been in, and they're struggling. Vegas. Yeah. Until next time. See you, friends. Bye-bye.